Sinn Féin are here to do the business. We have returned a very, very strong team. We trebled our vote and our representation here in Leinster House, and we're here to deliver, not just for the people who voted for us, but for all of the people of the state and across the island. And I think it's very, very important to remind ourselves, and there's a lot of excitement about here, and understandably it's a big day for TDs and for their families and for political parties. But the people who were unemployed before the election are still unemployed. The people who are bearing the burden of universal social charge are still bearing that burden. The banks are still waiting for their dig-out. This coalition which is forming is clearly going to be a coalition for cuts, supported by Fianna Fáil, and Sinn Féin will be the only coherent voice of opposition, and we will be a constructive opposition. If there are positive policies being brought forward, we will support those, but we will fight tooth and nail for everyone in this state. And the test of the government will be, is it going to give this big money this month to these toxic banks? Is it going to abolish the universal social charge and reverse the cuts? Is it going to bring in real jobs to put people back to work? Is it going to stop the awful tide of emigration? That's going to be the big test of this government, and we're going to test them on all of that and bring forward constructive policies to correct this awful disaster which was brought upon us all by a very, very bad government.
Well, I have absolute faith and confidence in Gerry Adams' leadership, and I'm looking forward to being a part of all of that for the 31st Dawn, so there's no question about it. Well, there it is. That's exactly the situation, and we have an enhanced team of 14 Dáil deputies. I think today is a very important day. It's a day, certainly from our point of view, of celebration of a new day and a new beginning. And I look forward to being a part of that, and I'm very grateful to the electorate of my own constituency for giving me that chance once again. And I'm here to play my part in any way that I can.
You're fully united behind the leader?
Absolutely.
And let me just echo what we've been said. I've been doing it on a very, very consistent basis. Let me thank everyone who worked for Sinn Féin. Let me commend all of our candidates and their families, those who got elected and those who failed at this time to get elected. And let me say that we will represent not just those who voted for us, but citizens everywhere across this state and across the island. Mary Lou and I were in Belfast yesterday with Martin McGuinness at a hunger strike exhibition launch, and you will all remember, those of you who are old enough, that 30 years ago that there was a hunger strike ongoing, and before that hunger strike had ended with the deaths of 10 men and many others on the streets of the north, Kevin Monaghan returned Kieran Doherty as a TD, Louth returned Paddy Agnew as a TD, and Fermanagh South Tyrone returned Bobby Sands as an MP. And for those of you interested in history, that was the end of majority government in this state and the beginning of the slow end of Fianna Fáil's dominance in this state. So we're here in the echo of those times. We're obviously looking forward to the future. We will honour all of our manifesto commitments. We will be here to offer constructive opposition, but really the test of this government as it faces into what's coming up is whether it's going to reverse the awful economic misery that's been visited upon citizens, or whether it's going to continue with more of what Fianna Fáil give us.